In the beginning of the story we see some kung fu warriors flying like birds. The boy's name is Lee, who was enjoying himself while getting close to his girlfriend Lisa, but he was seeing all this only in his dream. But soon Lee's dream broke. Actually, he could only imagine himself as a great kung fu master, because in reality he was the weakest in his entire clan. Suddenly he realized that it was lunchtime for the entire clan and he had to make all the preparations. 10 years ago he was admitted to King Young School, which is a very great kung fu school. Zhao tried to become better than others by learning martial arts, but he remained very weak compared to other students. His hands were better at cooking than kung fu. After this he quickly started cooking food for his master and fellow students, and as soon as the food was ready he started serving it to everyone. As soon as the food reached the table, his friends pounced upon it in fun and started fighting among themselves. To estimate the power of these students, it was enough that one of them stopped the food in the air. After some time, the master's wife Suru came and attacked him and threw him on the ground. Then when the master entered, everyone sat quietly in complete discipline. Now the students had to eat only normal rice because they had already ruined the food prepared by Lee. Suddenly the master asked Lee, "Brother, the food is fine. How is your training going?" Lee started telling happily that I am just about to cross the first level, on which his friends immediately started applauding him. But the master did not believe it and called Lee forward and decided to test his body energy. Despite all these years of training, Lee started bending in a few moments. Seeing this, Liz, who is the daughter of the master, started supporting Lee from behind, but the master was gradually increasing his strength. So slowly everyone started secretly giving their energy to Lee so that he could survive the master's test. But the master understood their trick and in one stroke he threw everyone in the air. After this he declared Lee as unsuccessful in clearing the first level. After this we see that Liz secretly helped him in his training. They had to do it secretly because learning from any other master was not allowed in King Young School. If they break this rule, they can either be expelled or sit facing a wall and meditate for 10 years. Well, this time Lee was about to complete the level 1 training when suddenly a locket worn around his neck started to burn. Light started coming out of the school and suddenly he fell down. Lisa said that she felt as if two forces were fighting inside Lee's body, but both of them decided to move forward without thinking much about it. Lee told that 10 years ago his parents were killed by Dem King. In that attack their entire village was destroyed. On this Lisa thought that if she takes him to that place then maybe his mind will be relieved. Actually they could not leave the school without permission, but both of them thought a little about it and quietly slipped away from there. They soon reached that deserted village. On reaching there, Lee remembered the day when the entire village was destroyed. Lee and his friend Jin Yu were returning home when they saw the entire village surrounded by electricity and bright light. Then suddenly a man wearing a mask was chasing the most powerful martial artist of the village. Lee and Jin Yu were fighting in this battle. He fell unconscious after getting stuck in the middle of the fire. When Lee regained consciousness, the fight was still going on. The man who was wearing the mask was losing, but then he saw Lee standing there. He attacked Lee and hid a poisonous insect in his clothes. As soon as the most powerful warrior of his village came to save him, he saw Lee and put a poisonous insect in his clothes. When the warrior came and caught hold of Lee, the insect bit him, but even the insect's poison could not kill the master. Instead, he beat up the man and chased him away. After a loud explosion, when Lee and Jin Yu returned to the village, they found everyone dead. Both of them were crying out of grief. After a while, Lee's master came there with his daughter Lisa and took her with him. During this time, all the 7 masters of King Young School were having a meeting together. Every 60 years, all the masters used to hold a competition among their students to decide which master could prepare the most powerful warriors. The winner of this competition was made the great army leader. An old enemy was settled under King Young School and one master felt that the demons were increasing their numbers. That is why this tournament is also a kind of training so that all the students learn to fight the enemies. After this we see that some student boys were secretly watching the Shaju clan students, who were usually girls, training. There were many girls there, so the boys started laughing at them, but everyone's attention was on the strongest girl Suki. As soon as she came in front, All the boys started climbing over each other to see her, and in this jostling, Lee fell out of his hiding place, after which all the girls surrounded him and captured him. The rest of the boys got out, but poor Lee was hung from a rock by Juki. He tied Lee with a rope and threw him down from several feet above, and finally, as a punishment, he put a lot of itching bugs in his body. These bugs were very small and it was very difficult to remove them. Lee's friends tried a lot to remove the bugs, but they were too many, so they thought of locking Lee in a hot pot. Luckily, it was the right time, but Lisa reached there and saved him. She took him out of the vessel and started treating him herself. Lee already liked her a lot in his heart, and seeing her act, his love for her increased even more. He decided that he will work hard and become strong and then express his love. Next day, he stopped near a lake and went to ask advice from the dragon present there. He had also brought food for him and was asking how to talk to Lisa. Only a few days were left in the tournament, so now Liz secretly stole some secret scrolls of her father, which she gave to Lee so that he can become more powerful quickly. He immediately started training, but as soon as he was about to cross the first level of training, the voices of two different masters started saying something in his mind, and the amulet around his neck started working and giving him pain. He had got this necklace 10 years ago when that poisonous insect had bitten the old master. When he was bitten, the master had given him all his knowledge before his death, and he had also said that he should get rid of this necklace as soon as possible, but he could not do it till now. Now he started suspecting that this locket is not stopping him from completing his training. After which he decided to throw this locket. He went to the highest rock and now he wanted to throw the locket, but there was a problem. The monkey came there to snatch it. Lee immediately ran away from there, but the monkey kept throwing stones at him. Finally Lee went into the river and started floating up, but the stone was pulling him deeper. Some mysterious glowing light was visible below, but before going, the stone changed its direction and brought him back up. The monkey bit his hand to steal the locket, after which Lee pushed it away. As soon as Lee's blood touched the locket, a stick came out from below the lake. The sky became dark and now the stick was floating in the air. The locket around Lee's neck suddenly started getting very hot again, after which it went and fused completely with the stick as if it was the same thing always. All the 7 masters were surprised to see the sky like this. They understood that a dangerous weapon called the blood-sucking pearl has awakened again. This blood-sucking pearl was actually the weapon of the Demon King, which had been snatched from him and thrown somewhere. He was imprisoned, and since then the Dem King has been looking for him. Now that the stick has appeared again, he may try to come out of the earth and get it. After this, the stick suddenly went to Lee. He saved the monkey and was about to leave when a woman wearing a mask came and tried to snatch the stick. Lee did not know how to fight much, but he managed to handle the girl somehow until Juki and Lisa reached there and chased the stranger away. After a while, when Lee was explaining everything to Lee, he saw that the bite mark disappeared from his hand. That night, the strange woman came to Lee's room once again to steal the stick, but the trouble started when she tried to take the stick. The stick had now somehow stuck to its new owner. After which the girl thought that she should kill her and get the stick, but the stick protected Lee and hit the girl. The next morning Lee was shocked to see her on his bed. He was confused, but the woman said that you did everything with me last night, now at least give me this stick. Lee was convinced by her words and wanted to give the stick, but the stick came back to him every time. Frustrated, the girl left from there without saying anything. Soon we came to know that the stick could also talk to Lee. The next day students of other masters also reached the school, and now the tournament would start soon. One of them was Lee's old friend who had become a very strong warrior by training under another master. When he came to know that even after 10 years Lee could not pass the first stage of training, he started saying that brother, your master is useless, he must not have taught you properly. Then Lee was doing some work. When he saw Yao in the flower field, he shouted at him and said that do not pluck the flowers. They will feel pain. Okay, then suddenly many horsemen arrived there. The girl made Lee fall and asked him to keep quiet, and when he did not stop, she kissed him. After they left, Yao started looking for the stick around her, but Lee said that I have just dropped her home, after which she slapped Lee and went away from there, but the stick came and stood near Lee to protect him. Later when Lee returned to school after finishing his work, he saw Lisa hugging another student. Lisa did not even know that Lee loved her, so unknowingly she kept talking about her boyfriend in front of him. My boyfriend is like this, he is like this, he does this. Lee was smiling silently after listening to her words. But inside the poor guy was breaking down. To vent out his anger, he went to a nearby rock and started shouting loudly. But his friends heard him, after which he ran away from there in shame. While running, he saw some people chasing him. Then Yao met him. Both hid in a cave where Lee questioned the girl. She was hiding from her master because she had broken a rule. While talking, she tried to snatch the stick many times, but he could not do so. In anger, he took out his weapon, but before she could attack, the stick sensed danger and knocked him unconscious. Lee could not understand anything, but he behaved well with her. Then after some time, he went out to get food. When he came back, he saw that the girl was cooking something. At first, he thought that she had cooked a monkey for him, but it was a burnt rabbit. After that, Lee cooked another rabbit on a stick. The girl surprised him and said that she wanted to eat the meat cooked by her mother. Lee remembered that he did not have much cleverness in his mind, and seeing this the girl told him about her mother's death and her wish to live in a place where no one can find them. Finally the day of the tournament came. 7 students of each master were selected who would fight among themselves to decide who is number 1. Now there were total 49 students in this tournament, so it was decided that whoever gets the number 1 ball in his hand will directly reach the next stage. As soon as the balls were released in the air, everyone started flying and catching them. One master saw that Lee was the only student who did not fly. Everyone started laughing at him because he had not progressed so much in Kung Fu. Before Lee could pick up the ball lying on the ground, Juki secretly changed the ball. This gave Lee the number 1 ball. Lee got into deep thought, and when he thanked Juki, then Juki started saying that she has come here to fight without fighting. He has no interest in moving forward, so I have done this for myself, not for you. The tournament started. And 31 students were eliminated in the first round. Itself in the evening we see that Juki was still training. She was very tired and was now looking sick. Her master asked her to rest, but Juki said that she wanted to win at any cost because her master was getting weak. But she did not know that other masters would understand her like this. In the second round Juki defeated her opponent without using the sword. Seeing this, everyone started getting nervous. Now it was Lee's turn and his friends had come to see him. Everyone took him lightly, but Lee defeated his opponents very easily. During the fight some dust came in front of his eyes, and during this the stick broke itself, but then Lee told that I have qualified. Everyone was stunned to hear this. In the next round he faced his childhood friend Jing Yu. Felt that Lee was much weaker than him, so he gave him the first chance to attack, but the stick attacked strongly and defeated Jing Yu. Jing Yu got angry and said that you deceived me by hiding your strength, you did not do the right thing. He got so angry at this that he broke his friendship with Lee and left. At night, Lee's monkey took him to the area of those female warriors where Juki was lying unconscious on the river bank. Lee picked her up and saw that she had become very weak. He advised Juki to leave the tournament, but Juki said that she would win this tournament at any cost. The next day all the students and their masters gathered for the final match between Lee and Juki, but today Lee did not have his stick because he felt very bad after Jing Yu's anger yesterday, and he threw away the stick. Without the stick, Lee got badly injured in the beginning, but when Juki forced him to surrender, when Lee asked him to do so, he did not agree. He was ready to fight till his last breath because everyone always considered him useless. To end the tournament, Juki took out his sword, but suddenly the stick returned because it could not see its master die. As soon as Lee touched the stick, his wounds healed immediately. After this, the stick started attacking Juki one after the other, but Lee hit Juki in the nose. Seeing the blood flowing, they stopped him. In the middle of their fight, the Mandi Mani clan reached there. Many students went towards the forest after hearing the scream of a child, but it was a trap laid by the Dem. A puppet master took control of them and forced them to kill each other. Now many demons came out from under the earth and started killing the students so that the way for the Dem King to enter the school becomes clear. Anyway, all the 7 masters recognized Lee's stick and understood that this is the special weapon of the Dem King, the blood-sucking pearl. After snatching the stick, Lee was imprisoned. They suspected that Lee might have taken training in some black magic, but his master said that the boy has not gone out of school for 10 years. Just then a student came running there and told them about the incident in the forest. After this, everyone understood that Lee did not do anything wrong because he was imprisoned. Still, they kept Lee and the stick closed and went to investigate. Seeing the opportunity, Yao reached there to free Lee, but he did not want to run away because he was afraid that if he ran away then all the blame would come on him. But then Yao had to make him unconscious and take him away from there. When the stick came forward to save Lee, Yao explained to him that I am not doing anything to your master, I have come to save him, after which the stick also started helping Yao, but Yao was lying and she took him to her father, who turned out to be Dim Master. Dim Master attacked Lee as soon as he saw him, but Yao came in between and fought her father. She wanted her father to teach Lee and not kill him. She tried to save Lee, but she could not stand for long against her father's power. Lee was alone, so he trusted his stick only. He kept fighting Dim Master till all the 7 masters reached there. Dim Master was very powerful and there was no one to fight him. All the 7 masters combined their powers and attacked. Lee was surprised to see the power of his masters because they had used the same lightning attack which had once destroyed his village. He understood that one of these masters had destroyed his village, but this was not the time to change sides. Seeing his masters in trouble, he helped them. During this, his body started pulling energy from both sides, good and bad. Due to this, he did not even realize when he reached a different level from Naosaki. Demur Master immediately understood that Lee was not an ordinary human being. He had 3 different types of kung fu in his body. He warned that Lee's power would ruin the school and suddenly disappeared from there. The masters got scared and thought that Lee would have to be killed. He felt cheated when he saw his masters attacking him. Now he was so powerful that he could destroy them all if he wanted. He was about to attack his master fatally when Lisa came in between and got injured while trying to save her father. Lisa was badly injured, but still she extended her hand and asked Lee to recognize himself. Lee regained consciousness, but poor Lee Sahab was dead. At this moment Juki's master asked him to kill Lee. Juki was hesitant, but still he did not ignore his master's command. The first attack was stopped by Lee's companion and the second was stopped by his master, who kept telling Lee to leave from here as soon as possible and never come back again to attack for the 3rd time. As Zuki moved forward, she remembered that Lee had saved her life, so to return the favor, she let Lee go.